Welcome to the video 2 of our Year 7 Basics Fusion 360. In our first one, we made a two-dimensional square and also extruded that into a three-dimensional object. We're going to make sure that that work is saved. If this save icon up here isn't showing, that means that mine is up to date and saved. You might want to make sure that it is saved before moving on. Once we have saved our square, we're going to start a new design. So hitting this little plus symbol on the top right here, it's going to open up a new blank design for us to work on. So just like we did when we were creating our square, we're going to need to create a new sketch. So we have our create sketch icon up the top left hand here, and we are just going to select the same plane that we were working in before, and it's going to rotate around like that. So we are going to just create a basic circle. So we used I showed you the line tool and also the 2-point rectangle tool last time. So next to that, we have our center diameter circle. If it isn't showing up there, we can also drop it down, and we have lots of other options here. But the circle tool, and we're going to just use center diameter circle. So diameter is the distance across the center of a circle. So we're going from one side of the circle to other. And we're just going to put that on our origin. So now there is two ways we can do this. So I can click and drag it out, and we have our distance here. So we are going to make our circle 75 millimeters. So I'm just going to come out a random distance. We're going to be a bit bigger, and I'm just going to click it like that. We're going to now use our dimension tool. So this tool here, so sketch dimension, or D on our keyboard, is the shortcut. And we are going to select the outside of that circle, and we are just going to make it the correct size, just like we did with the square. We're going to take that down to 75 and hit enter, and that's going to change it so that that circle is now not going to change. It is 75 mils in diameter. But if I go back, we can also just do that originally. So as I click and start to drag this out, if we type in 75, that will also make the diameter of that circle 75 millimeters. Making sure we are saving that image as well. So I'm going to finish that sketch. It's going to go back to the two-dimensional one. But to make sure that we have it the right dimension, we are going to go back into that sketch. Having a look down the bottom here, we have our all of the things that we are doing in Fusion 360. So we have sketch 1, which is the sketch that I just did. So I'm going to double click on that sketch, and it's going to open it up. So to make sure that I have it at the right dimensions, we're going to screenshot it while we're in our sketch dimension workspace. So once again, hovering up on the top hand right so I can see my name, it's Windows Shift S on the keyboard, and it's going to take a screenshot. So I'm going to drag that across, making sure that you can see the name in the top left hand corner here. It's got my name, and then we would be putting that into our notebook for our evidence. Once we have screenshotted that, we'll make sure that we have finished sketch and that we have saved it. So this is our circle. I'm saving it in the Year 7 Design Technology folder, which I created in video 1. Okay, same process. So we're just getting a bit of reinforcement of the learning. So we're going to making our 2D circle into a three-dimensional shape by giving it some depth. So we can either hit E on the keyboard again, or we have our extrude tool up the top here. I'm going to hit E on the keyboard. Make sure that that circle is selected and turns into that dark blue. And then we're just going to make that 3 mils again. So we don't want to be extruding it too much, as we're going to be using acrylic. So we're going to make it the same dimensions as the acrylic that we're going to be using. So I hit OK on that one. And now we can see that that is a three-dimensional object. So now we can screenshot that one again, making sure that we have saved it. So user save, hit OK. And we're going to screenshot that one and insert that one into our formative learning task.